Is that cat in heat right now?
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
There's a cat serenading us from the shore, which I think is beautiful. But, you know, we're trying to do a video of cat, you know? I mean, what are we doing here? Anyway.
Jigging it off the bottom.
You know what's fucking sweet is I don't have a mic.
Oh no, we've been doing this whole time.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a mic. Take dose. You guys don't know that. You think this is the first one, but let me tell you something. When you don't have a mic on, but the guy off camera has a mic, it's no bueno. So we are doing this one mo again. Today we're talking about the baits we've been using for the last couple months. Let me tell you something. I mean, you can go on YouTube and type in best baits for December, best baits for January, best baits for the winter, etc., etc. You're going to get 7,000 different people talking about it. I'm not saying they're not good. They're good at what they do. What we're doing is we're telling you what baits we've used for the last couple months. And I think both of us think that that's probably the better way to go, because we're actually catching the fish and then telling you about it. And these baits are going to work until pre-spawn and beyond, some of them for sure. So first things first, I think what I want to talk about first is going to be your deep cranks. So deep crank bait for us is going to be 10 to 15 feet. We don't spend a bunch of time cranking past 15 feet, especially not right now. But there's a time and a place for that, obviously. But for us, we're fishing in less than 15 feet of water right now. And we're catching a bunch of fish. So the first one I'm going to talk about is that deep crank. This is a Berkeley dredger. The thing that we really like about this bait is that it's almost like a finessey deep crankbait, okay? And the reason I say it is if I was to put, this dives to 14.5 feet. If I put this up against a tactical crank, which we really like also, it's half the size, probably. I wish I had one out. You would wonder, why wouldn't I have one out right now? Because my ass is on top of them and I'm not moving. It's cold. So I'm gonna put one right here. And that's how we're rolling today. So boom, and then, you know, anyway, this one goes to 14.5 feet. They've got the 10.5, which Cody caught a bunch on. Also, we caught them on both, and caught a bunch on the tactical crank and bait too, from river to sea. But if you need to show them a little something different, a little something smaller that's still going to get down there, this guy's the way to go. They've got like all these rad colors. This one's really good. This is like the honey color, right, or something? What do they call this?
I don't know.
It's like honey shad or something. Probably not, but
something
they also have
like a fish, and
yeah,
something that's bright and something that's white. You know,
exactly.
it's like the wedding thing.
We're not going to go into it, but yeah, it's kind of like the wedding thing. Something new, something old, something blue, something dipshit. Yeah, Uncle Randy, whatever. Anyway, look up these Berkeley dredgers. They're pretty rad, and they're pretty inexpensive too. It's like half the price of most deep cranks, right? And the nice thing about the other great part about this is you don't have to rip your arm off cranking it all day. So it's easier to crank. It's easier to get down deep. It's easier to crank. So that's something to think about too, something to consider. Also, the stuff that you use is a good one, but we're not going to go into that right now. So you're going to have to wait for another video on that. Anyhow, we're going to move on to the Duo Realis. This is a lipless crank. I think Cody's probably caught 30 or 40 bass on this. This is called the G-Fix from Duo Realis. It's a 3/4 ounce all tungsten bait. It's super thin. It's super rad. And if you count white bass and what we now know to be yellow bass, he's probably caught 3, maybe 4,000 fish on this. It's seriously, it's retarded. You can't say that anymore.
You can absolutely say that.
Yeah, you can't say that anymore. It's ridiculous. Anyway, point is, this is a great bait. We found it by accident, honestly. We were looking for another bait, another lipless to add, and we found this. Went out and immediately started catching them, and went back to the tackle shop and bought every one of them out. So, yeah. Talking Tackle down in Hickson. They got our money on all that. They're good guys. And this sounds a lot like an old school rattle trap, or LB what? Or like LV 500. So it's not one of those thumpers, but awesome, great colors, and caught a ton of fish on them. That's probably Cody's favorite bait right now, that and the blade bait, which is actually like both of our favorite baits right now. But probably my favorite bait right now is going to be a square bill or something similar, flat-sided. Now you can do, like, my go-to is going to be either the Otts Garage, either one. You got the tiny 4, you got the 6, and maybe the 8, maybe the 14. He's got like 5,000 of them now, but the OG is the one. And that's balsa. Had some issues with that, but I love that bait. And my other go-to is the chick magnet. I mean, for good reasons, we're on chick, right? But this is a great bait. It's very similar to the Otts Garage, but it's not. It's not balsa. It's got the computer chip board lip or whatever. I don't know. Pretty cool. All of them are doing it now. That's the thing. But comes in some awesome colors. This one right here is one of my favorites, especially for right now, going all the way into pre-spawn and spawn for that matter. They love these colors out here, especially with the dirty water and so forth. But caught a ton of fish. And I put this in with a square bill. I know that it's obviously not square, but I put it in because it goes down to about 6 feet, maybe 7, and you can throw it around damn near anything. So I kind of put that in that same category. And 0 to say 7 feet, this is my go-to, this in the Otts Garage, and caught a ton of fish so far in the last couple months, and I'm going to continue to catch fish for the remainder of the year probably. I mean, this thing's always a player here, but right now, for sure, that's on the deck, and we have a couple on the deck, and then this one that's just kind of hanging out. The last one I'm going to talk about is going to be new to us, the Dyna Response. Megabass Dyna Response blade bait. Now, we've been using the Demiki Vault for a really long time. If you guys have been watching the channel, you've watched me pull 5, 5.5, 4.5 pounders out of Skinner in California in the middle of summer. So, and we're talking in 2, 3, 4 feet of water. So the bait's not new to us. The style or the technique rather, is not new to us either. Well, we really got dialed in on this bite here, and I'm telling you what, if you want to go out there and catch 100 fish a day, the blade bait's the one. And especially right now because they're grouped up. And I'm talking white bass. This guy's a white bass killer. He might be like a world record white bass. I don't even know. You guys watch that video. We had so much fun. White bass can be a nuisance, but they're hilarious. They're fun as hell to catch. And almost all of them get caught on this style blade bait. So the Dyna Response is, like I said, a bit new to us, but the technique is what we're talking about. You can use this, you can use the Demiki Vault, you can use the Daracoup, which is actually kind of a tail spinner, but it kind of falls in that same category. And we've caught just an absolute metric ton of white bass, yellow bass, and some really good largemouth. Smallmouth, and I think we've done the trio. I think we've got spots, right? Yeah, spots, largemouth, smallmouth, white bass, yellow bass, Jesus, drum, catfish. Wish we would have pulled that sucker in the boat. Not really. This is the guy. This style, this technique rather. I keep saying style like it's like Michael Jackson or something. Like, it's not. So we've kind of ventured off and got ourselves into the Dyna Response here, and it's a little bit different because it's got the feathers, the feathery stuff on the back, which is cool. But regardless, get you a blade bait and throw it. It's super simple. It's like the finesse version of throwing a lipless crankbait, and it will flat out catch fish right now. 1,000%. It's caught so many fish for us in the last couple months. It's been phenomenal. So, I mean, there you go, man. Hope you guys liked the video. I hope you guys have already subscribed. I know you haven't, and I'll tell you why. Because we look at the metrics and we see like all these people that watch the video and they don't subscribe. It makes him sad, and it makes me also sad. So it's super simple, because all you got to do is just click the subscribe button, and if you don't like us, then don't tell all your friends about us. But I'm sure that you'll like us because we're likable guys. You know, we're good looking fellas. Also, it's not really, that makes no sense really, but you know, whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter. Subscribe to the channel. That's what I'm asking you to do. Hit the thumbs up if you like the video, and tell your friends. Why not? If you're wondering why I'm wearing these right here, pretty cool story, but you got to go watch the video right here.